In a world where carbs are your enemy, you need one man to help you fight your battles. That man is Jimmy.
Combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
Been looking for a quality brand of CBD oil and didn't know where to turn? Let me introduce you to Botan CBD. Go to botancbd.com, that's BOTAN CBD.com, and you'll see a full line of CBD oil products. The benefits of CBD oil are plentiful, including pain relief, anti-inflammation, mental clarity and focus, stress and anxiety reliever, and the list goes on. I've been using Botan CBD oil on my sciatica pain, and it makes it disappear. You can rub it on the body or take it orally, and you can trust that Botan CBD is the highest quality CBD oil on the market. They are a pharmaceutical grade organic CBD, small batch, and handcrafted for you. Head on over to botancbd.com and use the code Jimmy at checkout for 15% off your first order. Live life well. Botan CBD.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live, and we're here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. Here's how the fun works. You go over to JimmyRants.com. You'll see that the show starts off over on Instagram Live, so you got to go follow me on Instagram if you're not already. I'm at Living Low Carb Man. That's LIVINLOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, you can watch it live. We also simulcast over here on Facebook, and I have some people like Keto Coach Lauren who's on both at the same time. How does that work? I guess two different devices. So if you missed the live on Instagram, you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours. It does stay here over on Facebook. So by the way, Facebook, share this out there to all of the groups that you're in. There's a little share button down there. Just click on that and you can get it out and they can watch it live on those groups. If you missed the live, it does disappear after 24 hours here on Instagram. You need to go over to YouTube. That's where we house all the past episodes of this here show. So go look it up, Jimmy Rants, keyword search, or youtube.com/livinglowcarbman. Finally, the best of the best moments of this here show are in podcast form. We're about to hit our 100th episode of the podcast. We don't do all of the Jimmy Rants on a podcast, just the best ones, which is about one out of every 3 of them we post up on Apple Podcasts as well as Stitcher. So go check it out, you guys. All of these links are at JimmyRants.com. Today's Jimmy Rants is one of those off the beaten path type of Jimmy Rants that I like to do every once in a while. Many times I talk about low carb, I talk about the new research, I talk about some stupid articles that they think they're all smart about keto and they don't know a darn tootin' thing about keto. Well, today we've got one that is related to your health, but not with your diet. Because a lot of you guys, you're obviously here on Instagram, here on Facebook, you watch YouTube videos, you engage in social media. And have you ever stopped to think about it? I'm sure some researchers are already working on this, but have you ever stopped to think about what those kind of relationships you have with the people on social media, how they manifest physiologically, emotionally in your body? How many of you have seen something on Facebook, for example, that somebody, and it's really bad on Facebook that this happens, somebody posts something on Facebook and you don't even really know that person that well. You don't really know them. You've just seen their name in your Facebook friends. And they post something and it evokes some kind of an emotional response in you. Has that happened to anybody? Yeah, we get connected, and I don't really want to say that it's a fake relationship, but we get connected in a relational way that I don't think our biology was ever intended. that there's people in our lives that we are friends with, either on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or wherever. You're friends, but you don't really know them. Now, I'm a little bit different with you guys because you hear my voice all the time. I'm on Jimmy Rants every day. You physically see me, and a lot of you do consider me a friend, and vice versa. I consider most of you guys that follow me regularly great friends. But think about just those casual people that you follow, that they follow you, and then they post something on social media. Do you have some kind of an emotional reaction sometimes to them? Do you get angry? Do you get really upset by certain things? Have you ever stopped to think about whether we were ever built for that kind of constant human interaction, and yet it not being face-to-face? It's kind of an interesting open thought process here. So what I want to talk about here today is this concept that I read in this article that I'm going to read to you. Could embracing what's called a low reward lifestyle be the key to managing your stress, reducing your stress, and improving your relationships, and really giving you a good solid foundation about how you use social media? So again, if you're just joining us, guys, I'm asking about how we get so caught up in our social media, which is kind of ironic that I'm doing this Jimmy Rants on social media, here on Facebook, here on Instagram Live. But I think what I do, you guys are doing it in the right way. You're trying to feed your mind, feed your inspirational bone within you to get motivated in your pursuit of health. And this one here today is perhaps one of the most important Jimmy Rants that I'll probably ever do, because too many people get caught up in the day-to-day of what's happening online. Yeah, George, I will be defining low reward. I'm getting to the article, but I'm kind of setting it up first because I want people to kind of get a vibe for where we're going with this. So George wants to know, what's low reward mean? Define that. Let's go. Yes, sir. So the article is by Will Rinehart, and it's from medium.com. How to break free from social media, embrace the low reward lifestyle. Some time ago, in the strange part of the interwebs that I inhabit, I came across this guy named A.B. Dada, D-A-D-A, on Facebook. Every so often, I would cull the ranks of my social media feeds to keep things interesting and to clear out the underbrush of negativity, but it's unlikely he will be cut. Have you guys done like some of that purging of your Facebook page over here? Have you like looked at people that follow you and go, nope, 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 and you start like removing them from your friends list? That's what he did. But this A.B. Dada, he is not removing. Why? His way of dealing with technology should probably be adopted much more widely by the population. I've been slowly incorporating it into my life with some solid results so far. He describes it as the low reward lifestyle. All right, George, here it comes. This is what that means. Here's the basic idea. Your brain is wired to have a boost in dopamine. Did you know that every time that you're seeking pleasure, you're actually looking for a dopamine hit? It's why people still eat crap in their diet, crappy garbage. They're always looking for the dopamine hit. It's why people do thrill adventures like skydiving, jumping out of a plane. They want the dopamine hit. Even like a roller coaster, want the dopamine hit. So our brain is wired for that. And every time you look for a meme or you scroll through social media, you are a junkie looking for your next dopamine hit. Have you ever thought about that? When you're like on Instagram and you're just scrolling and you see Keto Coach Lauren has posted this brand new article all about kind of her mindset. And then you go to the next one and you see Rob Wolf talking about his jiu-jitsu. And then you scroll into the next one, you see some funny meme that one of the companies has posted, and you keep scrolling. Have you gone down that rabbit hole before? You're looking for the hit. You want that dopamine hit. You got to cut it off at the source, is what this low reward lifestyle says. You need to cut down on the dopamine rush. What I would want to know is what makes us do that. Now, obviously, they're describing that your brain is wired to get that dopamine hit. But if your brain is wired for that, why is it a bad thing? It's not inherently a bad thing. When it becomes a bad thing is when it becomes an obsession. And guys, I'm the worst at this. When I'm uploading these Jimmy Rants videos to YouTube, it takes a little while. It's like, 40, 45 minutes sometimes for these to upload. So while they're uploading, what does Jimmy Moore do? Oh, that looks like an interesting video. I finished watching that. Oh, here's one that's similar. Let me watch that. Oh, that's an interesting video. And about an hour later, I've just wasted an hour of my life and my video's done uploading and I'm still watching all these videos. This is an example of that dopamine hit that we're all looking for. And I'm not the only one that does this, right? Your brain is telling you, keep hitting. Especially when we don't have sugar anymore. Most of us are not drug addicted or alcohol addicted or anything like that. This has become our new addiction. This has become what we go to get that hit. But Zuck isn't the only one who's got you hooked to the rush. I assume he's talking about Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. Hollywood has also got you hooked. And I know I'm not the only one spending my lunch breaks looking through all the informationally empty videos on YouTube. So he's describing, although if you're watching Jimmy Rants, we are not informationally empty. We give you a lot of information. We got to give you a lot of inspiration and education all at the same time. So what replaces this dopamine habit? If you're not going to engage in social media for that constant hit, if you're not going to watch video after video after video on YouTube, if you're not going to make this process happen, how do you live the low reward lifestyle? Let's take a look. Family. Do you neglect your family because you're on social media a lot? Do you neglect the little munchkins in your life or the spouse that loves you? If you constantly are looking at things, looking for the hit, can you get a dopamine hit from hanging out with your kids and being with your spouse? Absolutely you will. Self-improvement. That's never a bad thing. I think that's a really good thing. That side hustle you wanted to start but didn't. Ooh. So a lot of people ask me for business advice quite often and they're like, how did you build your brand and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I didn't waste a lot of time. I kept the main thing, and I always sought how I could be better and better and better. Now, again, I still struggle with this even after building a brand and being successful. I still struggle with embracing this low reward lifestyle that we're describing. So don't hear me saying that I've got it all figured out. I do not. In short, it's conscious acting. So every single day that you wake up and you have that pull to go onto social media just to see what everybody's up to, and you spend hours upon hours upon hours scrolling, maybe getting mad at something you read, maybe getting emotional about something you read. Is that a conscious act that you do? I would dare say no. I would dare say if we stopped and thought about what we were doing, we would not consciously do those things. Now, you guys know, because I've announced it already, I'm taking 6 months off from everything that I'm doing in my work. So that includes the daily Jimmy Rants going away. All the podcasts I do going away. No book writing, no nothing for 6 months in a row. And one of the actions that I'm going to take during the 6 months from September the 1st through February the 29th, one of the actions I will be taking is I will not be on social media engaging. I will not be online really to speak of. We're debating whether when we're traveling, I'll just post photos, but there'll be no commentary, just photos. And I certainly will not look at any messages or look at anything. I won't answer emails during that time. I'm doing nothing for 6 months. So I'm going to be testing this low reward lifestyle pretty hot and heavy here in just a few months to see what this conscious acting is all about. I'm real excited to kind of do this as a N=1 test. And of course, I had planned this long before I understood this low reward lifestyle. So a low reward lifestyle doesn't mean you have to give up completely with all the technology. So hear this. Rather, you should be using it more thoughtfully, like watching Jimmy Rants. That's a very thoughtful use of technology. And yes, I'm a little more than biased. You should be jettisoning all the negative. In other words, get rid of the negative. If you see negativity on your page, delete. Don't even read it, delete. If you see anything that goes outside of what you believe that somebody's posted, delete. There's no shame in that. And I think that's a part of what they're trying to say here with the low reward lifestyle. Take away the emotional component that is building up within you. And then you don't have that reaction. Work to incorporate more positivity in your life. And guys, I constantly try to be positive in my work. I mean, it's a daily, intentful act on my part. If I can be that bright light in someone's life for even just a moment during the day, that's my goal. And if I can be an encouragement to somebody during the day, that's my goal. If I can uplift someone and give them that gentle nudge in the right direction to let them know they can keep going, that's my goal. Those are all the things that I think contribute to my success, but also contribute to me not getting caught up so much in all the negativity that it does surround me as well. You should be thinking of how those memes that you look at and the videos all distract you from all the other far more important things. Do you feel like you waste time on those things? Do you feel like, oh, there's a cat video, I have to watch it? Do you have that pull? What if you didn't look at it? What if you didn't go there at all? How would your life be different? I know this is a little bit different, Jimmy Rants, than I typically do, but hang with me because I do think this is so important in the discussion of your total health. Push back against all the easy dopamine rushes, like looking at cat videos. Work towards a goal instead. And what you'll find is that the low reward lifestyle is so much more satisfying than you even realize. There is some research that is behind this idea, which I will explore in follow-up articles. So go look up medium.com, and this author is Will Rinehart, Rinehart. But he talked about his mom doing this. It was right after the 2016 election, she got off Facebook. At the time, I thought she was just being a baby boomer, but I've come to appreciate her choice. She hated the way she felt. And guys, 2020 is going to be horrendous. There is no way I'm going to be hanging out a whole lot on social media when I come back from my sabbatical next year, because it's just going to be crazy with all the negativity. You know it's coming. There's going to be negativity from all angles next year with a presidential election, and I'm not looking forward to it at all, seriously. She hated how it made her feel scrolling just to see her friends arguing about politics. She still gets pictures through our text conversations. She still knows what's going on with her friends, but she isn't now subjected to the negativity. So you can keep up with what's happening with people without having to see and hear all that negativity. He said that they've talked a lot about it since, and she said it was one of the best things she ever did. She's now living this low reward lifestyle and didn't even know that's what it was called. So what does this look like? Here is a nugget of wisdom from A.B. Dada recently on a post. Here's what he wrote. If you're working on a project or an idea and you get a new exciting one, write it down. Get back to what you are working on until you complete it. Winners, listen to this line, winners follow through with boring work until they're successful or a failure. Losers never see success or failure because they allow themselves to get distracted with another man's success. Ooh, that one preaches hard. Those pet rescue videos on Facebook are ridiculously emotionally polarizing. I've had to unfollow a few people today because they post those on my pages. Those happy feelings you get watching them will leave you feeling bored and anxious soon thereafter. It's even worse if you're already depressed and anxious. Go outside. Do something fun in the snow or the sun instead. Stop giving emotional connection to all the bleep on Facebook that doesn't involve any of those people you actually love and care for. So here is how you wean yourself from this habit, this low reward lifestyle. Here's how you embrace it. Every time someone shares a page, click on the 3 dots at the top of the page and say, don't show me this page again, or hide all. When you do that, you'll never see that particular post again. It says here, I prefer only to read original opinions or look at original photos. I'm not interested in what any third party that I don't know has to say or market to me. Ooh. How much of that stuff on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page, are we scrolling through and we're just seeing junk? I mean, it's just garbage. The new one here on Instagram, the new one that gets me the most is that new category where it's like a hashtag ketogenic or hashtag keto or something, and it's some random whatever. I guess somebody paid for that position. But man, I go, okay, I had to stop scrolling through because I couldn't find my friends' stuff. And this is another thing. The people that I follow, it's people I want to follow. So don't take it wrong if I don't follow you back, if you follow me on social media. I don't follow that many people at all, partially because I can't keep up with it all. If I follow back everybody that followed me, I would literally never see the people I actually know in my life. I think you should reserve the people you follow for the people you know in your life / the people you get benefit from in your life. This will help you live this low reward lifestyle to the hilt. My newsfeed has become 100,000% cleaner and more interesting. It's not slammed with endless memes and marketing gibberish. Now I actually see posts and photos by the people I'm interested in or care about. So all of the social media platforms have a way that you can basically edit so that you don't get all the nonsense. Make it a habit to use this blocking tool to clean up your news feed, reduce short attention span indoctrination. Yeah, because when we're in there, you could look down at 8:30 in the morning and be scrolling. Next thing you look up and it's 10 o'clock. And you just lost an hour and a half of your life and you're like, whoa, what happened? Where did it go? The low reward lifestyle isn't some new age stoicism. Low reward doesn't mean you don't get something out of it. Low reward just means you're reducing the dopamine hit and you're reducing the brain reward. So stop being a dopa fiend and embrace this low reward lifestyle. So the bottom line in this Jimmy Rant, you guys, maybe you're one of those people, and this is a Sunday afternoon when I'm recording this, and maybe Monday morning you had plans to get on social media and bloop, 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 bloop. And an hour and a half later, you just wasted an hour and a half of your life when there's projects in your life that could make you successful, when there's real people in your life who need your attention. There's all sorts of ways to live this low reward lifestyle and find benefit from it. And guys, here's the biggest part of this. Our brains are already overloaded with so much stuff. And both Christine and I recently had some neurotransmitter testing done, and both of our tests came back super duper out of whack. And I think it's this whole constant being pinged, so to speak, that has caused that. And so we're working on healing that. We've got different protocols that we're doing with a doctor friend of ours who's going to help us balance those neurotransmitters. But I think a lot of that getting off kilter has been a direct result of not embracing this low reward lifestyle. So thank you for watching Jimmy Rants. Thank you for giving me your time. But if this is too much for you, you're not going to hurt my feelings if you feel like you don't want to watch anymore, and or maybe you see what I do here on Jimmy Rants is one of the few good things, and maybe let go of the rest of the clutter that is in your news feed on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever. And hopefully this helped you out today. I found that article truly fascinating. Again, how to break free from social media, embrace the low reward lifestyle. Will Rinehart. Go find him on medium.com. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. I'm going to go to Instagram Live first, and then we'll come to you guys here on Facebook here in a minute. Welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate you being here on this Sunday afternoon, Jimmy Rants. This is stress relief for me. Just filed my taxes, says George. Yeah, compared to the day before income tax day being due, yes, I can see how Jimmy Rants would be your respite from all of that crunching of the numbers. Keto Travelers, did you get an RV? No, we decided to not buy an RV. Christine and I are looking at getting like a mountain cabin up in North Carolina. So no RV. Positivity is so important, says Charming Confessions. Absolutely. And I think that's why a lot of people have written me and they're like, I love watching you on Jimmy Rants because it's the one time a day somebody's actually smiling at me. Somebody's actually encouraging me. Somebody's actually giving me love and attention. And I'm going, that is sad. If this, I mean, I'm happy to provide that to you, but if you don't have other people in your life providing you all of those same things, try to find those people in your life. And I mean, if I'm the only one, thank you for letting me know that, but man, that's tough. Nancy says, I laugh when friends complain about social media in one breath, and then they say they have to check their Facebook, Twitter, and more. I say, no, you don't. Get a glare. You just said something sacrilegious, Nancy. That's why. Andrea says, great advice. Some of the worst things I have ever seen happen on Facebook. And unfortunately, it's going to get bad next year, you guys. 2020, man, I do not look forward to being on social media in 2020. I almost want to come on every day and just go, all right, here's your respite away from all that hate and all that ugliness and all that bickering and fighting right here. Today on Jimmy Rants. Maybe I'll change my voice and be more soothing and more calm. It's bad. Charming Confessions, good advice. You don't have to follow everybody. No. And I used to think that a lot of social media experts said, well, when somebody follows you, follow them back. And I'm like, why would I follow somebody back? I don't know. Are they a content provider? Okay, I'll consider if they're a content provider, but there's a lot of people that follow me that don't really put up a lot of content. They follow me because they want to follow me and they want to follow the content that I provide. Why do I need to follow them back? So no, I don't follow other people unless they're interesting people that I want to follow, and they're mostly friends and family. Carlos Black and Keto says, cut the crappy garbage to lower your insulin hit and cut the crappy content to lower your dopamine hit. Got it. You got it, man. That's exactly right. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Glenn. Happy to do so. All right, I'm going to pop over to Facebook. What's up, you guys? Thanks for being here on this simulcast of Jimmy Rants. Political posts totally trigger me, says Susie. Yeah, I hate it when some of my friends go there. It's like, really? Okay, that's great. You didn't have to go there. I mean, regardless of where your position is, one way or the other, I don't really care what you think and all your opinions about it. And you notice I don't really share mine in that realm either. It's just, I think that kind of thing, it does no good, because half the people, when you post something like that, are going to be ticked off at you, and the other half will go, yeah. And it's like, what good does that do? Anything that is a divisiveness on your page, is probably not a good idea. So if you post something about somebody in Congress, or you post something about the president, or you post something, you're just asking for trouble. And of course, there's some people out there, that's their sole purpose of being online, is to raise a storm. And I think that is horrible. Those are the people you need to block yesterday. Block, delete, because you don't need them in your life. If people aren't loving you, if they're not kind to you, if they're not encouraging to you, you need to let them go. By the way, the other day I had somebody come on one of my Jimmy rants and said something about I was contradicting myself on what I had said on a previous rant, and that they were kind of calling me out a little bit. And of course, I responded to them here on Jimmy Rants saying that no, I was being consistent and that they didn't need to be ugly towards me. I got an email from them apologizing because they didn't intend for it to come across as being judgmental towards me. They were trying to tell a joke. So again, those kinds of things are hard to read. Use emojis very deliberately if you do a joke, because it's hard in the written form to be able to tell what you're doing. But I thought that was really cool. This person humbled themselves enough to write to me and say, I was wrong, and I'm sorry. And I apologized back, saying that I probably responded a little harder than I typically would, only because of the negativity that I see so much in my work. But I thought that was just really, really cool. Kind of rare you get an apology these days at all, much less someone you don't know or only know online. So that made an impact on me. I was really grateful for that. Bonnie says, I just shake my head and move on. Yeah. Padme says, control your environment. Unfollow those people who do not feed you in a positive way. Exactly, Padme. And I hope that I'm that to you guys. Obviously, you keep coming back, so I must be doing something good in your life. Frank said, do you know about Representative Ryan doing to support healthy food approaches? He was on ABC today. Yeah, I don't know. I'll look him up, but you're bringing up politics. I don't want to go there. Frank does say you can check with a DNA test about the dopamine area. You don't really have to do DNA per se. You could, I mean, obviously there are some DNA markers that would indicate that. The one that I used, that Christine and I used to do our testing was what's called the Dutch test. So you pee in a little container in the morning, and you do 4 spit saliva tests all throughout the day. And obviously that shows you levels of cortisol and other things, but there was some other hormonal testing in there as well that indicated neurotransmitter and that kind of thing. So we're real excited to share about that. Padme says the cute animal videos are addictive. Yes, they are. Depth and wisdom on Jimmy Rants. I try, Kimberly. That's what I do here. Good for you trying to go for the low reward lifestyle. Thank you, Catharos. Everyone needs a chill, non-stress approach to social media. Can you imagine, Padme, if everybody who got on social media made it a general rule to keep negativity out, to keep emotion out, and to only put forth positivity, only put forth encouragement, only put forth useful information. I think it's kind of human nature. Some people are just natural stirrers of the pot, I guess is the nicest way to put it. But can you imagine, as my friend Ryan Lowry always says, if we make positivity louder, how cool would the world be? I mean, think about that just in your everyday life too. All the people you encounter when you go to Walmart, you go to the grocery store, you go to wherever. If everybody was just kind and loving and compassionate for their fellow human being, it's something that it's a goal of mine to see happen. Obviously, there will always be people that will be the turd balls in our life. We see them all the time. But I think those people could be drowned out if enough of us don't buy into that. See, here's what happens when someone is negative, it breeds more negativity, because there's kind of what I like to refer to as an echo chamber effect. When one person says something negative, especially on social media, here's how it happens. Somebody posts something negative, and then within a few minutes, somebody else reinforces that negative thought. And then somebody else posts, oh yeah, I believe that too. And then you suddenly have 6 or 8 different people all saying something negative, but it started with one person. Now, obviously, all of those people had those thoughts in their head, but when one person did it and you allowed it to stay on your page, it became an echo chamber. And this echo chamber happens again and again and again all across social media. So, nip it, nip it, nip it. As Barney Fife always said, nip it in the bud. Delete those people, block those people. And sometimes I block people and they'll write to me and go, oh, you blocked me, what happened? And I'm like, you were negative on my page, do not do that. Oh, I didn't mean to, everybody does it. I said, well, everybody could jump off a cliff, would you do it? So some people I do allow back, other people I'm like, sorry, I can't have that in my life, and I choose not to have that in my life. So go be negative to somebody else. So, bottom line, you guys, in this Jimmy Rants, what I wanted to get across to you here today is, are you allowing kind of the day-to-dayness that is social media to suck up your life? A lot of people are. A lot of people, they'll get on social media in the morning and it's this roller coaster ride all day long. Now, it's good to keep up with family. It's good to see what's happening in the lives of your friends. It's good to actually engage with those people you know and you love. But what about those people you only casually know? You only know of them online. You don't really know them. And yet you're engaged in their life as if you do know them. Can you let that go? Can you not let your life be consumed by all of that? Because let's face it, there's so much content online now. If you just go on YouTube and watch constant videos 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for the rest of your life, you would still do 1/100th of a percent of what's on YouTube. You would. You wouldn't come anywhere close to seeing it all. So why are we trying to see and fill our heads with and fill our lives with all of this stuff that really at the end of the day doesn't really matter? Find the things that do matter to you. Embrace those things. I'm very honored that you consider Jimmy Rants one of those things in your life. And if you choose to let this go because you don't get value out of it, I totally understand. And I encourage that. But if you get value out of it, definitely keep watching, and I'll keep trying to provide you that best quality information that you're looking for. But there's a lot of stuff we put in our heads that we allow to see and we allow to hear. And I'm working on that too. I get involved in sports media and listening to it a lot, and I can go down a rabbit hole with that. And obviously the YouTube video thing, like I mentioned earlier, don't allow yourself to get caught up in it all. And you'll find that your stress levels will go way, way down. And again, when I do my 6-month sabbatical and I'm away from all of this on purpose, I'm bracing now about what's going to happen. Janet says, there's one lady on my Facebook, I love her, but her posts are always on food, recalls, missing children, politics, ugh. Janet, you got to block that person. You do. You got to block them so that you don't see and aren't exposed to that. I see my cousin Robbie just came on Instagram. If Robbie posts something on social media, I want to read it. He's my cousin. I want to see what's going on in his life. But if there's some XYZ 123 person that's out there and I happen to be following them, I don't need to know about every little detail of what's going on in their life, especially if it's trivial types of things that they're posting or memes and videos and things like that. So hopefully this kind of made you think today. That was my goal of doing this Jimmy Rants on this topic. I wanted you guys to kind of assess where you are, especially with the new week coming up. Let Monday morning be the time that you start this. And if you're watching this on a Wednesday, let Thursday morning be the time that you start this and get going with it. I think it's going to reap great benefits in your mental health, in your physical health, and in all aspects of your life. So that's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, you can engage live in the content. Go to JimmyRants.com. You'll see a link there to my Instagram page. So it's right here on Instagram. I'm at Living Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, you can engage live. We also simulcast here on Facebook. Stay right here, you guys. I'll be back for the after party for Jimmy Rants here in just a moment. On Instagram, if you miss it live, you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours. After 24 hours, you do need to go watch it on YouTube. Type in a keyword search, Jimmy Rants. You will find the show. Finally, the best of the best moments of this here show are in podcast form. It's the Jimmy Rants podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. Almost at 100 episodes there. All of these links, you guys, are at JimmyRants.com. So Instagram Live, until next time, we'll see you then.